last gasp of communism echoed through the streets of East Berlin in the summer of 1989. Thousands of people chanted, "Wir sind das Volk," we are the people, a rejection of the tired old Soviet slogan, "We are the state." Ultimately, the power of the people prevailed, and the Berlin Wall, symbolizing a century of the failed socialist experiment, was taken down brick by brick. It was not only a victory for the people of Germany, but for those in Russia as well. In 1991, Boris Yeltsin became the new hope of freedom for the emerging East. It was agreed to withdraw the Russian troops from all the former Soviet bloc countries, including Estonia and the other Baltic states. Not only did the soldiers disappear, so did the hated symbols of Soviet occupation. In their place came a messenger preaching peace and unity.
Free people of the United States of America, I say to the free people of the Baltic nations.
In the autumn of 1994, the gates were locked on the last Russian base, and the last Russian tank left Tallinn, Estonia. The deliriously celebrating people of this tiny Baltic state knew that the Cold War had finally come to an end. They had no idea that the last shot had yet to be fired.
You look different than on television, smaller but no less attractive.
You look the same as your Stasi file photo. Gray and fading.
My intelligence, however, is quite colorful.
What is it, Mr. Gehrig?
A story about rats deserting a sinking ship.
I don't do animal pieces.
You'll do this one. In this story, the rats are taking the cheese with them. A certain Russian scientist has been putting his affairs in order. His departure's imminent.
And he's taking his toys with him?
The seller's not particular. Like me, he's in it for the profit.
How much do you want?
50,000 Deutschmarks to start. Oh. The last few years of freedom have been costly.
The network will never go for it.
Perhaps you should do an Oktoberfest story instead.
I'll call you.
Okay, here we are. home so early?
This way we get the best state room. Have lunch, explore the ship.
I don't want to go home.
I don't either, but we have to. Come on. It'll be fun, huh? Let's go.
We want the best stateroom. The best for you, Mr. Westermark. Have a good journey.
Thank you. Come on, Max.
Hey, look out!
Asshole!
Watch your mouth.
He should have his license revoked.
Relax, Jan. We're early. We are always early.
Put in the back, second spot on the left.
All right. What?
Don't be so obvious.
Jesus. Was I obvious? Our Russian friend doesn't think I was obvious. Maybe you should shut the hell up, Ivo.
Come on, man.
They're in.
How many?
1 lorry, 1 passenger, 2 babysitters.
I'll keep an eye on them.
Take off your coat.
Why?
Because this is gonna stay with you forever, Doctor.
Let's go. Weather?
Winds northwest, 20 knots.
See?
Maybe a little chop.
Very good. Thank you, Captain Callas, for taking care of things.
Sorry, I forget, Captain. This trip, I'm just another passenger.
Your help and expertise are always appreciated.
With your leave, then I'm going to lunch.
Are you plotting a new course as well, Callas?
I'm taking a navigation test in Stockholm tomorrow.
Remember, not everything you need to know is in those charts.
Attention passengers. The duty-free shop is now open.
Too big? Max, think of it as a souvenir of our voyage,
Maybe a special souvenir. Captain?
I'm not actually on duty. I'm captain of the relief crew.
Maybe still trouble you for an autograph?
Oh, of course. Thank you. Will you?
Sure.
And you are sailor first class?
Max Westermark.
That's great. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sailor Max, I order you to buy this landlubber some ice cream.
Aye, aye.
Thank you. Let's go. Come on.
Attention passengers. There will be no admittance to the car deck after departure.
50,000 Deutschmarks for rumors.
He's a high-ranking ex-Stasi controller with a CV 4 inches thick. He worked hand-in-hand with the KGB. It's all on your desk.
Oh, come on, darling. You know I've got time to read.
Before the wall came down, he ran special ops for the Kremlin. He was as high as they get.
Spies in from the cold are yesterday's news.
I'm talking today. We'll have the exclusive. Nuke Doc, or whatever he is, escaping to the west with a suitcase full of glowing goodies. Oh, come on, Marcus. Tell me that doesn't make you glow, too. If we wait, he'll take it to somebody else.
All right. Get me something concrete I can take to the board.
Julia Reuter.
Where the hell's Danny?
Oh, Tuesday afternoon school would be my guess.
Guess again. The dean of students just called. Danny's truant for the 3rd time in 2 weeks.
Jesus. Well, probably he's just...
I pay good money for the top English school in Berlin.
All you have to do is make sure he attends.
Thank you for the reminder, Guy.
You will enjoy the West, Doctor. You can go to Euro Disney, have a Big Mac.
Or see a dentist.
May I go to the bar?
As long as you stay sober. Хорошо, мой друг.
Спасибо.
I gotta talk to you. Mika, I'm not sure I want to do this anymore.
What the hell else would you do?
Become a good capitalist. Get married, find a job.
Doing what? You're a soldier, so am I.
But this isn't soldier's work.
I want to play the slots.
Go.
You don't want to come?
Son of a bitch!
I just thought we could be together.
I'm not talking about your slots, woman. Hey! Hey!
Jan, don't.
You cut me off!
So get over it.
I want your name, your driver's license.
Jan, let it go.
No. Punks like this need to learn some manners.
Get out of my way.
Your license!
Oh, my ice cream!
Carajo.
Crazy old man!
Jan!
Fighting with me,
Get
huh?
up
Who do you
there!
think you are? Huh?
Get your
Dumb shit! You don't know who I am, huh?
Stop it!
Misunderstanding. Let it go, Captain.
Do you have official business on board the ship, Major? Then I suggest you get off the ship, or I call the harbor police.
That would be a bad move.
Okay, Captain. We're just leaving anyway. Let's go.
Son of a bitch truck driver! Cut me off!
Truck driver,
Yes, in the car deck line.
do you require medical attention?
I require a drink.
And the kick in the head. Come along, Jan. You've caused enough trouble for one day.
Oh.
Yuri, do you want me to get that phone for you?
It's a private line.
What? We've been made.
By whom?
The relief captain, Callas, he ordered us off the ship.
What about the cargo?
It's on board, but flying solo.
Get back here, now.
Yes?
There's been a change of plans.
We don't like changes.
Sometimes they're unavoidable. I need your assistance.
Not without authorization.
What?
Your Estonian sidekick has a problem.
Does it jeopardize the delivery?
No, the cargo is on board, but unchaperoned.
Why?
The escort was detained by a mishap in Tallinn.
So what are we supposed to do about that?
You impound the truck, and you take the passenger into custody.
Well, it's highly irregular.
Well, think of it as an opportunity to display your government's flexibility. I'm dispatching a civilian Gulf Stream from northern England to Sweden as we speak. The call sign is Sierra, Foxtrot, Zebra, 221. Clear it with your aviation authorities.
How long will it be on the tarmac?
Till it takes off.
What's the license number on the truck?
Estonian plate, license number T748RS.
Now, how are we going to find one passenger out of so many?
Well, just look for the man handcuffed to his briefcase.
That's it then. As always, ma'am, you have our undying gratitude.
Thanks. I'll relay that to the minister.
Jesus Christ almighty. God, how do we find the passenger? Hello? God, what a pain in the ass those Swedes can be.
You said it, but a necessary pain in the ass.
Yeah. So, my dear Yuri, baseball notwithstanding, how's your life in Estonia?
Okay. Good vodka, bad coffee.
No, I'll get somebody to send you a case of Starbucks. Wrap this up and put it to bed for me, will you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
What are you doing home?
Funny, I had the same question.
Well, sometimes when I stay with Dad, he lets me come home early. You know, get a little head start on my homework.
Now that's lame.
I had a bad day.
Yeah, well, mine was worse.
You want to tell me about it?
Give me that. Yes?
Do we have a deal?
Well, my news director is intrigued, but he's not going to buy blind. I need a hook.
The Estonia, it's a car ferry leaving Tallinn for Stockholm this night. Your hook is on board.
Good news. You get to do your homework at your dad's. I gotta go to... Danny, I gotta go to work. I'll be back tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
Excuse me. This is a security now. I'm sorry I'm late. Come on, we gotta hurry. We're gonna miss the boat.
Hello to you, too.
Oh, come on.
What boat?
It's a ferry to Stockholm. The Estonia.
I left Camilla in Hamburg to do a story about a floating casino? Come on. Since when does Julia Ryder do travel pieces?
When they involve defecting scientists and stolen weaponry.
On the passenger ferry?
My source is impeccable.
Well, so is Camilla.
Come on. Can you drive faster, please?
Max? Can bring us some flowers tomorrow if you want.
I thought you had to work.
We can go early, before work. Look, I think the nice lady in the souvenir store put a little something extra into our shopping bag when I wasn't looking.
A boat.
If you somehow put this tub together, I'm sure Captain Callas will promote you from sailor first class to at least second officer.
First officer.
All right, first officer.
Thanks, Dad, thanks.
What about a nightcap? Listen to the band.
I want to build the ship.
Well, you can still build the ship when we get home.
Please, can't I at least start? Please.
All right, you can start.
Yes.
But I'll be back soon. Then it's sleep time, okay?
Okay.
Have the authorities been notified?
I know I forgot to call somebody.
We're putting our asses on the line with no backup?
Sure. Why, you don't want to? Okay, you just give me the camera, you go to Hamburg to Camilla, get married, have 6 screaming kids, get divorced, and have a bitter, boring, wasted life. Oh, God, we're not gonna make it.
Jimmy!
Tere! Mõnus muusika südames ja hinges. Te kuulete Tallinna Raadios FM.
Hey, your ticket.
Not necessary.
That's it. I'm going back to Camilla.
We're gonna fly to Stockholm. Airport! Make.
Cheers.
Thanks. Though I probably shouldn't.
Why not?
I need to be at work first thing in the morning.
I didn't know artists had to get up early.
I'm hardly an artist. Lawyer.
Yeah, but with the soul of an artist.
Devushka! Oh, vodka!
Excuse me? Got a peep of fish. Another one?
Do you accept rubles? No? Okay. Dollars? Keep.
You keep. Must be a spy.
That's what I told my son.
A very drunk spy. You see all kinds on the ship.
Drunk spies?
Whatever.
Excuse me. Have you seen this man?
No.
Are you certain?
Yes.
What about you?
Has he done something wrong?
I'm a concerned friend. He drinks too much. Keep your eyes open.
I believe this is the first time a person has won something on this boat.
Why didn't you say anything about our drunk spy?
Why should I? I can't bar, I don't get involved. Especially with KGB.
He didn't say he was.
He didn't have to.
What? No!
How do we deal with customs at Stockholm?
This truck isn't going to arrive in Stockholm. We go below deck 1. Blow it.
Status.
Steady at 18 knots, winds at 25 meters per second with gusts to 30.
Have you seen the captain?
No, sir.
Carry on.
Yes, sir.
You want another glass?
I should get back to my son. What's that?
Some nights can get a little bouncy out here.
I didn't like the feel of that.
Must have been a large wave.
Waves are coming from port. Find Captain Valme.
Yes, sir.
Check the car deck.
Car deck, come in. Car deck. Car deck, come in. Come on. Car deck, come in.
Cheers! Oh, wait until my husband sees this. Just wait.
Okay. Thanks. Night.
Thanks. Sleep well.
Please, Kardec, come in! Kardec, what the hell is going on down there?
Sorry.
Hello. What? I'll be done in 5.
At 1:24 this morning, the ferry boat Estonia suddenly sank into the icy waters of the Baltic Sea.
The tragedy has united the peoples of Estonia, Sweden and Finland in grief.
Den estniskflaggade passagerarfärjan Estonia.
During daylight hours, helicopters again scanned the Baltic. Empty life vests, evidence they were in the right place.
It was one of the worst disasters to his country in modern times.
Helicopters ferried in the very few survivors.
Most were suffering from severe hypothermia after hours spent in the darkness and the cold Baltic Sea.
Rescuers have given up hope now of finding anyone else alive and will be concentrating on locating the Estonia on the seabed and...
What the hell are you doing in Sweden?
My job.
Following the story.
What?
Remember my ex-Stasi source?
He told me there was some unauthorized cargo on board the Estonia.
So you just flew up there?
Uh-huh, with Rock Weber.
That's fantastic. How much is it going to cost me?
Well, the usual. Hotel, airfare, per diem, and double time for Rock. Well, if that isn't agreeable
with you, I can always take my exclusive to somebody else.
Oh, just put the camera in their faces.
Exactly what caused this disaster is still unclear. Estonia's to set up a joint inquiry with Sweden and Finland to sift through all the evidence and establish the cause.
Nearly 100 passengers and crew have been rescued overnight. However, more than 800 are still missing. We have obtained the audio of the last radio transmission from the Estonia.
Estonia. Mayday.
For the rescued, today was a day of absorbing the enormity of the tragedy, which befell nearly 900 others, the ones who couldn't escape.
Most were suffering from severe hypothermia.
Hello?
After hours spent...
Yeah, we're just watching it on TV. Okay. It was Mom.
Hey, the action's over here. Come on.
How many survivors are in Stockholm? How many have been taken to Finland?
At this point, we have no way of knowing. We are currently compiling one. Our first priority is treating the injured.
What caused the accident?
We believe bad weather. We are looking into the possibility of wave action.
Marine conditions were no rougher than normal.
Nothing is normal on the Baltic. The situations can change very quickly.
Quickly enough to sink a boat that size in so short a time?
Apparently.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes?
There is no sign of your passenger or his briefcase.
What about Captain Valmy?
Missing. Presumed drowned. However, the relief captain is alive.
Callis.
He is currently in surgery.
Is he expected to survive?
The doctors are not certain.
If he does, hold him. No visitors, no records. We'll take him off your hands.
I don't understand. Our responsibility ends at the dock.
Mine doesn't, and neither does yours. Go to Stockholm, and if Callis is alive, bring him back.
Why?
Better he spends the rest of his life in a gulag than you.
The impact of this disaster is being felt throughout Sweden.
For the rescued, today was a day of absorbing the enormity of the tragedy, which befell nearly 900 others, the ones who couldn't escape. Although they are alive, they had been closer to death than most of us could even imagine.
We're still helping people to check the list of survivors they had received from Finland. The list is all too short, and it's tragically clear to relatives and friends waiting for news that the great majority of the 400 Estonians aboard the ferry will not return.
And who are you looking for?
Our son.
Now they come in.
My sister. My son.
They're in.
I can't find my husband.
Is he a passenger?
Crew.
What have they told you?
Nothing. We took a plane from Tallinn as soon as we heard. Don't be sad, Katsi. Don't be sad. Your daddy will be okay.
Kati, what's your daddy's name? Hmm?
Captain Callas.
I'll be back soon. Then it's sleep time, okay? Any word yet about my son?
We're still checking over at Turku Hospital in Finland.
I must go to him.
You can't go anywhere before the doctor says so.
Excuse me.
You're a doctor?
I'm a reporter. Tell me what happened.
There was a loud bang. No. 2 of them. At least. Then the ship tilted. Very fast.
Were you alone?
No, my son Max. I can't find him.
Can you describe him to me?
Max Westermark.
He has light blonde hair. A wise smile. He just turned 10 last month.
And when did you last see Max?
On the top deck. The captain, the relief captain, Callas, he was holding Max. I called out, but Max couldn't hear.
And then what happened?
I found myself in the water. Max was wearing a life jacket. I must find him.
Is that Max?
Max? Max!
Yes. Can you help me? Help me find my son.
As of today, young Max Westermark is among more than 800 passengers and crew still listed as missing. As rescue teams continue to search the frigid Baltic waters for survivors,
authorities have been quick to zero in on violent wave action as the cause of the disaster. However, there are conflicting accounts which seem to contradict the official line. In an exclusive interview, another survivor reports multiple explosions rocked the massive car ferry just moments before the ship began to sink. Here is what she had to say.
There was a... Go to commercial, now!
Apparently, we do not have that interview available right now. Please stay tuned to GTN. We'll be right back. Damn it, Marcus. Why did you cut me off?
Because we're a news station and not a tabloid. We don't report rumors or innuendo. We're better than that.
2 crew members told me that they heard muffled explosions. Their account was confirmed by several passengers.
We just saw their loved ones go down with the ship. I'm sorry, darling, but their accounts are unreliable.
They use the words crash and bang. Doesn't sound to me like waves knocking against the hull.
Well, for all you know, it was a boiler blowing up, right?
My source told me that there were weapons of some kind on board that ship. Why are you trying so hard to kill this angle?
Look. I'm not trying to kill anything, okay? I'm trying to ensure the journalistic integrity of this station.
Oh, yeah, sure. You'd exploit your own mother if you thought it would buy you a rating point.
Yeah. Mothers, sons, daughters, grieving, tear-stained faces. And you know why? Because that's what sells.
That's what sells tabloids. But we're better than that. Look, there's a story here, and it's huge. The 50,000 Deutschmarks. It's all ours.
Look, Julia, it was an accident. The ship went down and people died, okay? So why don't you play the human interest angle or you're off the story? Understood?
Did you lose my phone number, Miss Reuter?
What are you doing here?
Or did you think I would just go away?
I couldn't get the money. I tried, but my producer just wasn't interested.
You wanted proof. I gave you proof.
Your proof is at the bottom of the Baltic Sea. Excuse me.
You took my story. I want my money.
There's nothing I can do with it. I'm sorry, the story is dead.
You're mistaken, Miss Reuter. A Russian scientist is dead. The ship's captain is dead. The crew is dead. Many passengers are dead. Even perhaps a few family pets are dead. But the story is very much alive. If you can begin to understand the magnitude of this, Miss Reuter.
What was it, Garrick? Munitions? Plastique? Is that what blew up?
You're the reporter. Figure it out for yourself.
Only a few victims have been recovered so far. Meanwhile, the families have urged the authorities to recover the bodies from the sea.
They are now sitting in a death trap. That's how we see it. It's not a grave, it can never be a grave. They were killed inside that boat, and now they want people, they want them to stay there, and we feel it's horrible.
After 3 months, there is still no consensus as to why the ship sank. However, explanations why it couldn't have are plentiful.
I cannot assume a major fault with the vessel because she was in a very good shape.
A fact-finding committee has been formed to get at the truth, no matter where it may lie.
Our report won't, blame anybody.
Authorities have been quick to zero in on violent wave action as the cause of the disaster. However, there are conflicting accounts which seem to contradict the official line. In an exclusive interview, another survivor reports multiple explosions rocked the massive car ferry just moments before the ship began to sink. Here's what she had to say. Apparently, we do not have that interview available right now.
Eric, when are you going home? So, you have the Johansson deposition early tomorrow. 7:30. I'll be ready. Because you're going to spend another night here? The case is important to us. We've already canceled it twice. I know. Eric. What? The practice is going to hell.
The investigative commission announces their final findings Wednesday. After that's when I'll be back.
Eric, you know, what that woman did to you was appalling, but why keep putting yourself through it?
I put myself through this because she's right. There were explosions. She was going to present another witness, but nothing more was mentioned. For months, the committee hasn't returned my calls. They will not see me, they will not listen to me. Wednesday is my chance to be heard.
All right. Take care, my friend, okay?
Three, 2, 1.
We're live at the press conference where the multi-government committee on the sinking of the Estonia will release its findings. There are no surprises expected, due to the fact that...
After an exhaustive investigation, spanning 3 months, utilizing the full resources of 3 governments, we are prepared to make public our determinations regarding the causes of this accident. We have concluded that this tragedy resulted from a combination of unfortunate circumstances. Extreme weather, a design flaw in the locking device, and a slow reaction on the part of the command crew. Mr. Ovaska, Finnish State Nautical Engineer, will now delineate the sequence of events that led to the loss of ship.
Waves as high as 8 meters.
Better at the Estonia all through the night, driven by winds of 30 meters per second. The waves pound the Visor's Atlantic locks until they fail. Water pours onto the car deck. The rushing waters cause a sudden starboard list, which causes the Estonia to immediately sink.
You sent down divers?
Excuse me?
I said, did you send down divers?
Sir, we are not taking questions from the press at this time.
I'm not from the press. My name is Eric Westermark. I'm a survivor. I speak for the families of the dead, which includes my son. Did you send down divers?
Of course.
With cameras?
Mr. Westermark, this is hardly the time and place.
I have attempted to contact your office repeatedly to ask these questions. I was told to wait, to be patient. Well, I have waited. Now isn't the time and place, madam. When exactly is the time and place?
Mr. Westermark, our experts have determined...
I have my own expert. Jan Peters, also a survivor.
My cabin was below the car deck. I saw water coming up from the floor. The water would have been coming from the stairs above my deck if it were coming from the car deck.
Would you please sit down? Everything is in the report.
Your report is wrong. I am a sea captain. If the water came from the car deck, the
Mr.
ship would have
Peters,
turned on its side or upside down, but it would have floated. The trapped air on the lower decks would have kept the ship afloat for hours.
Out of order.
Perhaps then, my wife would be alive.
There was a bang, a crash, and the subsequent shuddering. Those vibrations are indicative of an explosion. Have you investigated that possibility?
Sir, we have investigated everything. Mr. Ovaska's findings have been vetted by the most experienced nautical engineers in Europe.
What do they say about Captain Callis?
Mr. Westermark, this is a press conference and not a courtroom.
Callis? Relief captain. He was initially listed as one of the survivors. Now he's disappeared. Where is he?
All the command officers, including Captain Valma and Captain Callis, went down with the ship.
I saw Callis at the hospital in Stockholm after I was rescued.
Perhaps you mistook him for someone else.
Callis was the last person I saw with my son. I'll never forget him. Where is he?
I think it's best we end these proceedings right here.
If you can't tell the world about Calais, perhaps you can tell us, the families. When will you begin with the promised recovery operations? It's been 3 months. The Prime Minister has promised it. Where is he, by the way? Did he have something more important to do?
Mr. Ovaska will address the recovery issue if you allow.
Unfortunately, we've had to reconsider. The decision to bring up the remains was made before we understood all of the technical ramifications.
What are you trying to say?
It is impossible. The wreck is too deep.
The angles, impossible.
A recovery effort would pose grave danger
The
to...
ethical committee's conclusion is that it is best to turn the site into a grave.
60 meters.
That may be. But nevertheless...
How can you do that? Swedes, Finns, Estonians, Russians, Germans, British families, all are in mourning. 1 in 4 families in Sweden has lost somebody.
Mr. Westermark.
I've lost my son. Madam, people must be allowed to bury their grief.
Mr. Westermark, Mr. Peters, would you care to comment on the findings of the committee?
I would like to comment that the investigation was bullshit and the findings are crap.
Mr. Westermark, what are your feelings about how this committee manages...
That night in the ER, I understand why you stuck the camera in my face. It's what you people do. But I also thought you were going after the real story.
Well, I was doing my job, just as I am now.
Is the world a better place because you made my private grief part of the public landscape?
I don't get paid to make the world a better place. I get paid to report the news. Then
Except I'm not the news. You saw what happened in there. The way they're trying to sweep the truth under the carpet. Or in this case, under the ocean. Do a story about that.
Wait, Mr. Westermark! Shit. Miss Ryder.
Oh, my name's Tina Rong. You interviewed me. Do you remember?
Yes.
I have to talk to you. I didn't tell you everything. Inside, they said that there were 852 killed. But I can tell you one of them was dead before the ship went down.
Who was he?
A Russian. A man was asking about him at the bar.
Also Russian?
Yes.
Have you seen this man?
No. KGB.
Are you certain?
Miss Ryder, I lost all my friends on that ship. I wouldn't be looking into this camera, putting my ass on the line, if I wasn't.
Have you told anyone else about this?
After I was rescued, I reported what I saw to the police.
And what did they say?
They thanked me.
Mr. Westermark? Hello, Mr. Westermark?
Get out.
Mr. Westermark.
How dare you? Get out.
Hear me out first, please.
Where's the camera?
I'm alone. No camera.
I don't believe you. Perhaps it's a small one hidden in your purse or a telephoto spying on me. Just leave.
I have no camera, Mr. Westermark. I just need to talk to you. Please. I have a son, too.
Will you kiss goodnight?
Not as often as I should. You're quite correct. There is a cover-up.
So put it on the news.
To do that, I need your help.
They just went on the boat trip.
What freaking boat?
Belongs to Jan Peters, survivor from the Estonia. Left diving equipment and a cameraman on board.
Shit.
Shit.
Exactly.
So what do you propose we do?
In American football, we call it a prevent defense.
Just get them out of there.
The wreck is in international waters.
I don't give a damn. Get them out of there. You can't go down there.
This cannot be done discreetly.
Don't even try. God damn it.
Was it this time, Louis? The Iraqis?
No.
Or the North Koreans?
No, honey. No amateurs. God damned amateurs.
Let's go down.
If you need me, we will be down below.
I don't know what kind of weapons, but
According to my source, they were sold by Russians and they were being accompanied by a Russian scientist.
The man handcuffed to the briefcase. The man they killed.
Who is this source?
ex-Stasi. He's as high up and connected as you can get.
Apparently still is.
All we need is proof that there was an explosion, and they'll have no choice but to reopen the investigation. You just can't hide something this big.
I don't care about the politics of this. I've seen people die for fascism, for communism, for capitalism. It doesn't matter. The dead no longer know why, and the living no longer care. I made one promise to my wife that I intend to keep. We had vowed to spend eternity together. We have 2 plots in a churchyard overlooking the sea at the town where we met. That's why I'm here. I couldn't give a rat's ass about the politics.
Bridge to Captain Peters. We're getting close.
I'll be on the bridge.
I want to be very clear with you about something. I don't want you to put
a camera in his face.
I was taught that the purpose of journalism is to hold up a mirror to the world. If we can find out and tell the world why Max and Ingrid Peters are no longer with us, then maybe I can look in my own mirror.
It's showtime!
We're recording.
What's that?
Look at that hole.
The metal's bent outwards. My God. Those bastards.
We've got them.
Get up here. We've got trouble.
Ahoy the seahorse! Ahoy! Ahoy the seahorse! This is the Swedish Coast Guard. Heave to!
They have no rights here.
Then to hell with them.
Negative! The ban has been placed on this site by the governments of Sweden, Finland, and Estonia. You are trespassing. Repeat, trespassing.
We are in international waters.
Heave to! Repeat, heave to!
We got divers in the water.
What divers?
Marcus?
Where are you?
On the Baltic with a dive
Team 60 meters above the Estonia and about to be arrested
by the Swedish Coast Guard.
I've got proof of an explosion. You can start the promos now.
There won't be any promos, and you can keep your proof. You no longer work for GTN. God knows I want you.
I've got divers in the water. Repeat, I have divers in the water.
I don't see a flag.
What the hell are they doing? Jan, do what he says.
Heave to!
We've got what we need, Mr. Peters.
This is your final warning. Heave to!
Better bring those boys up.
Seahorse, follow the report, now!
Well, she's not very happy. I am not very happy.
This is the last time.
Unless the Americans tell you otherwise.
I promise you, madam, she won't bother the good people of Sweden again. Just get rid of her.
She was never here. I was never here.
I wasn't either.
Exactly.
Where the hell am I?
In considerable trouble.
Good. I demand to see a lawyer.
I'm afraid, Mrs. Reuter, you're in no position to demand anything.
I see. Because this isn't on the books, is it? No. No jail cell, no paperwork, no lawyer. Basically, I just don't exist.
Unfortunately, you do.
Then so do you. You must have a name, a title. What about a conscience? Who the hell are you?
This is not important. What is that you and your colleagues were committing piracy.
In a tugboat.
Trespassing.
On international waters.
Over a banned site.
Banned? Now, why is that? Tell me, mystery woman. What's the big secret, huh?
Mrs. Reuter, may I remind you that you could be staying in Sweden a very long time.
We'll see about that. What have you done with my friends?
Out of respect to their grief, and understanding that such grief is being manipulated by an unscrupulous member of the media, Peters and Westermark have been released.
And my cameraman.
Hey, take it easy. Take it easy, guys. Take it easy.
Mr. Weber has elected to return to Germany.
What about
without his videotapes? He asked that you not call him again.
Those videotapes are not your property.
They are evidence of your criminal enterprise.
They're evidence of a cover-up. Why the hell is this allegedly progressive, compassionate country participating in this charade? The Estonia blew up. You know that. I know that.
All I know is that you should be bound over for trial. However, we have decided to expel you forthwith.
Wait, you just let me walk out of here?
Yes.
No strings.
No strings. In view of your compelling family emergency, we can do no less.
What emergency? I'm looking for my son, Danny Reuter.
He's just sleeping.
What happened?
There was a fire in your apartment. Unfortunately, Danny was home.
How bad is it?
It may require a skin graft. If the fire department had arrived just 1 minute later, he'd have... Is this about the Estonia?
Probably.
Well, maybe you should just get off that story.
Well, you're not the first person to make that suggestion.
Mom?
Danny, how do you feel?
Okay.
I need to talk to Danny. The fire wasn't an accident, Danny. And neither was what happened to those people on the Estonia. I've been arrested. I've been fired. And now this happens. Whoever's behind this, they want me to go away.
Are you gonna go away?
I don't want to. I want to fight it. The victims and their families, they deserve it. The more I bring this story out into the open, then the safer we're gonna be. All of us.
I'll stay at Dad's.
I need more than words, Danny. Or I won't even leave this room, let alone the city.
You'll be okay, Mom.
Thank you.
50,000 Deutschmarks.
So your producer finally came through.
On the contrary, I got fired last week for pursuing this story.
The money is mine. Insurance payoff. This is what my son's life was worth. He was on board the Estonia.
What do you want to know?
Everything.
The truck contained beta versions of advanced weapon systems, SDI technology, weapons-grade uranium,
the usual. But more significantly, the truck contained the fruits of years of Dr. Rasmus' research.
What exactly was his field?
Biochem.
What caused the explosion?
What explosion?
Quit playing games. Our divers saw a hole in the side of the ship that could only have been made by an explosion. The metal was bent outwards.
Most likely Semtex or hexacomposite.
Okay, so reduce it to a soundbite. You're telling me the KGB purposely took down a passenger ferry in international waters, killing hundreds, potentially poisoning the Baltic and risking millions more lives simply to stop
one scientist with the truckload of germs from defecting?
No, not the new KGB.
Well, who then?
Let's just say there's still certain elements within who have enough pride to not allow Raspov to simply walk away with what was not his. I'm sorry. That was not a soundbite.
Did this man blow up the Estonia?
Excellent likeness.
He was in the bar, looking for Raspov.
Who is he?
Victor Ranko, gifted field agent and explosives specialist.
Ranko could have met the ferry in Stockholm, picked Raspov up when he stepped onto the dock.
It's more complicated than that. The Soviet bear is now nothing more than a collection of squabbling cubs. There's no loyalty left, no respect for the mother country. But for some of my former comrades, these defections cut deep.
You knew this would happen?
No, not exactly. Perhaps they only wanted to disable the boat. Some retribution was inevitable and necessary.
Opa, I want to go home.
Sasha, Opa is busy. You must wait. Sasha. Forgive me.
I'm not sure that's possible.
852 innocent people died. Why didn't you warn someone?
What? Who? The police, the government. Which government warned them about what? The inevitable.
Someone could have stopped it.
You are naive, Mr. Westermark.
Why is everyone trying so hard to cover this up?
We'll find the answer to that in Estonia, but could cost you.
Money's not an issue.
I'm not speaking of money. It may cost you your lives. You'll see former comrade Gregor Karpatic. He's a technocrat in the Estonian telephone exchange. We do business. You ask what a technocrat in the telephone exchange does. He listens.
We've been made. By who? The relief captain Callas. He ordered us off the ship.
What about the cargo?
It's on board but flying solo.
Get back here, now.
That's where it ends.
Go back a bit.
The relief captain Callas. He ordered us off the ship.
Stop. Callas.
And you have these tapes because...
Information is power, and power is survival. You want it or not?
Do these voices have names?
Gregor? A younger man is unimportant, but older man is Yuri Ruz, State Secretary of Ministry of Defense.
Are you certain?
I've heard Secretary Ruz's voice 1,000 times. I have his private office number, his cell phone number, and his mistress's number. I am certain.
This may not be admissible in a court of law, but...
No, but it's still not enough. We'll never get to Rus, not even close. These are just voices on tape. Voices can be doctored. We need an eyewitness. We need someone we can put on camera. Who did you say the other voices?
Nobody you want to meet, ever.
We'll take our chances.
You'll never get one.
The caller on the tape said us. That Callas ordered us off the ship. Who's the other person? Give us that.
Come on. Who is he? Tell me, Gregor Karpatic, what would happen if your boss, or even Yuri Rus, got to know about your side business here?
Garrick said you could be trusted.
Garrick was mistaken.
Give us the other eyewitness. With what's in this envelope, Karpatic, we can go digital.
Give us the eyewitness.
your son all right?
Yeah. The doctor was very encouraging. No grafts.
I mean, is he all right with what you're doing?
You told me that Max had a wise smile. Well, Danny's also wise beyond his years.
What about your husband?
My ex.
Oh.
I met Guy when I moved to Berlin. I was on an assignment. It was before the wall came down. The city was filled with such a constant sense of danger and desperation and desire. I fell in love, and I never left. I fell in love with Berlin. It's the only home my son's ever known.
What about yourself?
I always live where the story is.
Welcome. I've been waiting.
For us?
For anyone.
So, how much money do you want?
I do not desire money. I only desire forgiveness, which is, of course, not yours to grant. I'm a soldier. I was a soldier. But I raped and sold my homeland as if I were an invader. I was attached to the weapons research lab at the Russian base near the border. On the night of September 26, I was ordered with my partner to help a Russian scientist defect with a truckload of stolen material.
Who gave the order?
It came from the top.
Yuri Ruse? Well, why would the State Secretary of Defense be involved in something like this?
Yuri Ruse was born in Estonia. Son of a bar girl and an American general. He was trained at West Point, and he served in the US government before Estonia became independent. Then after independence, he came back home to this big, important job. But his heart and his friends are still in America.
Was Raspov defecting to the U.S.? Was he?
I put him on the ship to Sweden. Where he went after is not my business.
You took him from the army base to the Estonia. Why weren't you on the ferry?
Unfortunately, my ex-partner, Mick, he's a bit of a hothead. He created an incident with one of the passengers, so the relief captain was forced to put us off the ship. If he hadn't, I'd be dead today. Drowned along with everybody else. Almost everybody else.
I saw Callas in Stockholm. Now they say he's missing. Can you explain that?
Callas was an inconvenience. Bruce ordered us to extradite him.
But his wife, she was in Stockholm within hours looking for her husband. How come you got to Callas before she did?
We had help from the Swedes.
If Callas is still alive, where would he be?
It's best to forget about that man.
If this man, this inconvenience, is still alive, then my son might be as well.
No. There was no child. He will not help you find your child!
Where is he? Tell me where he is! Let me go!
Ivo, this man needs his peace.
I need my peace too! I need my peace! Sorry. They took Callas to Sector 9.
What is Sector 9?
An American base. They call it Sector 9. Somewhere in Germany.
How do we find this place?
Forget about Sector 9, my friend. Even if we did find Callas, he can't give you peace. I can't give you peace. Only God can do that.
What now?
CNN, BBC. Get out!
Go to the car! I said go to the car now!
Come on.
May Olli, may you're superat! Because I'm a soldier! I am a soldier!
When Max was small, my wife and I rented a cabin every autumn on the Baltic shore. It was always a happy time for us.
Are you divorced?
No. We lost Petra to cancer. One day she was sick and then she was gone.
I'm so sorry.
After that, there were no more happy times. Only sadness. But after a few years, the veil lifted a bit, and I thought, if I took Max back to Estonia, to the Baltic, who knows? Happy times might return. I booked the same cabin for the same weeks in September. Went sailing and swimming just as before. Picnics, and walked on the beach. But it was not the same. So I cut the trip short. I lied. If I hadn't have lied, if we hadn't left early.
No. You mustn't blame yourself.
I've lost my wife. And my only child. To lose one is hard. But to lose them both. That's why we have to find Callas. Because if he is alive,
We
then
will
perhaps-
find Callas. I promise you. We'll find him.
I need to get some Gentlemen looking for me? Hey! Stop! Get up, down!
Where's your friend?
Thank you for the bike, Opa.
Sure. The man needs a bike. Hello, Moni.
Hello, Ron.
Tonight we'll have chicken.
Sector 9. Where the hell is it?
What makes you think I would know?
Oh, come on, Garrick. Don't be coy now. I don't have the time.
Sasha, go home. I'll get the chicken. Moni, please. Something has happened.
Eric Westermark's been kidnapped.
I warned you. This is not my fault.
Oh, funny you should say that. You know, all last night when I was making my way here, I kept asking myself, I kept thinking, how did the Russians find out about Rasputin's defection? The army base was on Estonian soil. It was guarded and run by the Estonian military. The entire operation was being engineered by the Estonian Ministry of Defense. And yet, within hours, perhaps moments, the KGB knew not only that he was gone, they knew exactly where he went. Now, how did they know that, Garrick? Could it have been that one of their old comrades, ex-Stasi agent, tipped them off?
I didn't choose capitalism. It was thrust upon me.
You're a quick study, Garrick. You know, working the system, playing both sides against the middle. Not bad for a man who claims to have devoted most of his life to the cause.
Devotion won't buy food or put a roof over my grandson's head.
Oh, look, everyone's got bills to pay, but not everyone is complicit in mass murder.
How dare you look down your nose at me? You who feed off the misery of others.
Look, I report the truth.
What truth? The globalist truth. You are no better than the Americans who plunder technology and natural resources, then call it fair trade.
So, Rasputin's spy was American.
Not American. America. Who else could make proud countries like Sweden and Estonia roll over and cower like beaten dogs?
Oh, I see. So it wasn't just the money. You still believe.
The glory of the revolution may be gone. But for some, it's not forgotten.
It's dead, Garrick. Now just tell me. Sector 9, just tell me where it is. Otherwise, I go straight to Interpol and I implicate you for the sinking of the Estonia.
Go ahead.
Look, you can see your grandson anytime you like. Eric Westermark's never gonna see his boy again. I'd say you were a lucky man, Garrick.
Sector 9 is just outside Goslar, a quaint medieval village where one night a year, every housewife dresses up like a witch and parades through the streets. It's the one night when they don't have to behave. Sector 9 is quite anonymous, and you don't have a chance in hell of getting in.
Help you, ma'am?
Yes, I'm here to see one or two of your political prisoners. Eric Westermark and Captain Callis.
Please turn around, ma'am.
I don't think so. You look so serious, Sergeant. Why don't you smile? After all, you're on TV. If you don't let me in, then this scene and this location will be broadcast to all of Europe over dinner.
I'll be right back, ma'am.
Looks like they're taking me seriously, Rock.
Good.
Hey, did Dackle approve this?
I forgot to ask him. Are you sure you're going to be okay in there?
Well, if I'm not, you know what you gotta do, right?
You got it. Good luck.
Thanks.
Please drive to the steps, ma'am. You'll be met there.
Nice to see you again. You saved us a lot of trouble.
I didn't know they let Estonian army majors run loose on American bases.
What's the problem? Everybody shares now.
Well, then share with me. Release Eric Westermark.
Assuming he was here, why would we do that?
Because if he and I don't walk out of here in 1 hour and 55 minutes, then a box of very incriminating tapes featuring some notable voices, including yours, discussing the real reasons why the Estonia sank, will be released to the international media.
What tapes?
The ones Gregor Karpatic made. Major Mick Guld. I'm grateful you're such a lousy shot.
I don't think Karpatic would share that opinion, or my late friend and comrade Ivo Vares. Release whatever you will. It won't prove a thing.
I think you underestimate the influence of the media.
Not in here. This way, Miss Reuter. Enjoy your reunion.
I was hoping they wouldn't find you.
They didn't. I found them.
What?
I got out of Estonia with the tapes. I tracked you down. And if we don't waltz out of here, then Rock's gonna see to it that they go out on air all over the world.
But if you already had the tapes, you didn't need to put yourself in this position.
No, I had to. I did.
Julia. Now would be a perfect time. Now would be an excellent time, Julia. Come on.
Maybe I didn't think this through completely.
The one thing I've learned throughout this is that the rest of the world no longer plays by the rules. Tapes or not, we can quite easily disappear. So can they. And after time, the world will forget. Turn its attention to the next big story.
Not until this one is finished. We're almost there.
Julia, whatever happens,
Ms. Reuter and Mr. Westermark, I presume. I hope the two of you realize just how inconvenient all this is.
So was the murder of all those people on the Estonia.
And apparently you have some tapes.
With both your voices on them.
Yes, so we have been told.
Your English is excellent, Mr. Secretary. California, right?
L.A., baby. And that's one thing I miss, being a big fish in a small Baltic pond. Dodgers, baseball, go blue.
And Starbucks, right? Don't forget Starbucks. You, sir, we haven't identified yet.
Not important.
No, of course not. Not at all. Just pulling the strings of 3 or 4 different countries. I expect we'll find you in the DOD phone directory. Just take a little digging.
You don't have a big enough shovel.
No, but I do have the tapes. And you guys have got barely 5 minutes.
You have no idea what's at stake.
Why don't you tell us?
Mr. Westermark, we did not kill your son. Ex-KGB agents trying to disable the ship caused your son's death.
You put him in a position to be killed, along with all the others.
We had no choice. We had to play the hand we were dealt.
And what hand might that be?
When the Soviet Union disintegrated, the base commanders in all the satellite countries started selling every piece of ordnance that wasn't nailed down. Now, that's a fact.
And you've been buying, which is also a fact.
Who would you want to have bought them, ma'am? The world needs that these materials stay out of the hands of rogue nations.
Oh, so if your motives are so pure, then why the secrecy?
The United States government can only deal with governments. So it's up to its undercover agents to deal with black marketeers and thieves. The economic and political dynamic of those transactions mandates secrecy. If the secrecy of this operation had not been compromised, your son would not be dead. I'm terribly sorry for your loss. But we are doing our damnedest to save the world from destruction. It's not free. Certain sacrifices are inevitable.
Oh, that's what you people always say to justify your collateral damage. Except, why draw the line at 852? Why not 1,000? Or 5,000? Or the hundreds of thousands around the Baltic Sea that you've endangered by transporting weaponized biochem on a passenger ferry, for Christ's sake?
There is no danger. No one is in any danger.
Unless the poison seeps into the seawater. And then everybody is. We all are.
No, our decon team got in there immediately and neutralized the material.
Then why not bring the bodies up?
Because then the proof has to come up with them, that's why.
Assuming I agree to your proposal, can I trust you?
Oh, who the hell elected you God?
Can I trust you?
You got no choice.
So no duplication. Ever. You know what a duplicate would buy you, yes? Do you understand?
Do you understand? I mean, you guys have got just 1 minute, and if we're still here, then tomorrow morning, every camera in Europe's gonna be at that gate. 50 seconds.
I just going to see a closed sign. I mean, maybe you have not heard, but the Cold War is over, and we have all gone home.
45 seconds. 40 seconds. 35 seconds. 30 seconds.
You two. You go home. Give her telephone. Call off your dogs. Self-righteous fucking amateurs.
Rock, we're coming out.
remember me. My son, Max. Max the sailor. He comes with us.
Sure. He's all yours.
Captain, let's go home.
I don't think he wants to go with you.
His family is what?
We are his family now.
Bye-bye, my hero. Have a nice day.
Bye, Opa.
Is it over now?
No.
The governments of Sweden, Estonia, and Finland have not answered the question why 852 people had to die, nor why their bodies remain at the bottom of the Baltic Sea.